Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to look at our NRL Fantasy team after round 2 of the 2024 NRL season. And I guess it was a much more successful week for us this week. So a score of 860, which was good enough for just outside the top 5,000 overall. And actually has catapulted us into the top 10,000 overall. So if we compare that to round 1, where we were, just scraping inside the top 60,000 to jump, to jump 50,000 spots in 1 week. Obviously, I did that in the Supercoach video as well, if you go back and have a look at that. But I was starting at a much lower base there. So to get, all the way inside the top 10,000 is pretty epic. But let's have a look at the team. I'll scroll down a little bit. Harry Grant with a 49, so slightly better return this week. Still lacking a bit of that upside, but the Storm have had a couple of battles in the first 2 weeks, so that'll definitely improve in the future. Cam Murray with a 52, which isn't too bad considering he played a fair bit of time on the edge. I do remember seeing Tallis Duncan on the field, but I don't know if he played through the middle as a lock or if he did slide to the edge and Murray moved in the middle. It was a long time ago now, and a lot's happened since then. So maybe one we need to just monitor quite closely and sort of have a get out option if we continue to see that he's not got that workload in the middle. Salmon with a 31, so I guess a bit more of an indication of how they're going to use him in the team. Definitely looks like an Isaiah Yeo, but just without the 70-point upside that Isaiah Yeo has. So obviously, at his price and his dual position, he's not one we're going to flick straight away, but definitely one just to keep an eye on. Reuben Cotter bounced back though, so 67 points this week. We were looking at him as that cut price keeper option, and this score is more reflective of that. Piakura, speaking of bounce backs, 40 points is again what we're expecting more often than not. So his price has dipped a bit, but after this next round, that I think he scored 0 in this format, something like that. What was the score again? Yeah, total points 40, so he didn't get a point in round 1. That 0 will leave his average. His cash will start moving upwards from there. Josh Curran, 56 points in 60 minutes, coming pretty much on the field in the first minute, and just works the whole time he's on the field. So that's what we know he can do. That's why he's in the team. So very happy with Josh Curran at the moment. Cleary with the 58. So again, probably slipping back in cash a bit, but no need to panic on the great man. Nicho Hynes was the right captaincy option though with 77, which doubled to 154. So I guess that sort of goes some way to explaining this big score, was his return. Ben Travojevic with a 30, that's fairly solid, but we'll cop that at his low price. Ethan Strange apparently was quite good, so up to 287k, so his cash generation is taking off. Ryan Pappenhausen was our top scorer, so I said Hynes was the right choice. I guess we weren't seriously considering Pappenhausen as a captain, but fortune favours the brave. Those that went with him would have been rewarded with an 81. Tuapiki was solid again with a 35, so he's ticking along nicely with some cash. And Bostock with 36, it was a bit better in Supercoach scoring, but we'll take that for his cheap price. Although he is on the bye this week, so we do need to find some cover for him. On the bench, we had Brandon Smith with 39, solid return. Tupanua with a 31, so didn't get 80 minutes. Again, neither of the edges got 80 minutes. It looks like they're going to rotate Butcher either side and have like a three-man rotation on their edge. So he's definitely one we can look to upgrade for our wing fullback cover. Alex Seyfarth, so started for the first 20 minutes, I think it was, 22 minutes. Subbed off, never came back on. So super disappointing. Not what we were expecting for him starting at 13. But some teams do have this sort of player. They start and then they don't seem to bring back on the field for whatever reason. Um, from all reports, it was just that Fino played really well. So what I know his price in Supercoach is okay. So he's already, I guess, more expensive than Seyfarth in fantasy. So one we might not be able to get on, but that's okay. Um, but Galvin with a 43, we absolutely took that. We did have the option of swinging in Flanagan, but we looped in Galvin and he did the job for us. Flanagan with a 25 was a bit disappointing, but then again, so were the Dragons as a team. Joe Chan with a 35 is an improver. And Sam Hughes, I think, is just going to keep ticking away with those sort of 30 type average scores. So if we have a look at the league this week, if I can get to it. So another win for myself against Big Keith. So with the 743. So he also had Murray, had Haas and Cotter. So he went up to me in the middle. Had Highland Lukey, which is unfortunate on the edge. Captain Cleary, so didn't have Hines, which probably didn't help. And also Pappenhausen. I had Rapana instead of Pappenhausen. Has Kiraz as well. So, and Taylor or Terrell May on the bench. I guess those points do count, which is nice. So, very strong middles with Murray, Haas, Cotter, and May well set up there. Just maybe, I guess, the unlucky injury to Lukey and having Hutchinson in the halves probably isn't the best plan of attack. But Levi Hughes on the bench, not bad. If we have a look at some of the other scores, if I go back, is it here? Still getting familiar with the fantasy format with the league. I haven't really done head-to-head leagues in this before. So let's have a look. So it looks like got the top score in the head-to-head league, which is nice. Um, and if we have a look at the ladder, so sitting top after 2 games alongside what could possibly go wrong. So another win this week. So just having a quick look through. Cam McInnes with a 48, Robson with 54 is nice. Solid returns. So I guess maybe differential for myself is having Hines and Cleary in the halves. Helen Keller's optometrist, I remember that name from last week. Again, another one with Hutchison in halves. Terrell May is a nice get. And Para Beast. So surely Para Beast would have Lussick. Doesn't look like it. Got Mitchell Moses though with the 45. There you go. So I guess it's not all over for the other teams. I did notice even the Rusty Trombones had a better return this week. So yeah, good stuff. Keep it going, team. Um, in terms of the overall Open League, I mean, so sitting sixth. So Potato Chips, Warren's team sitting top. So he had Adam Elliott, which was nice, and Zach Hosking. Oh, 93 and 88. That's pretty handy in the team. Light on in the halves with Fogarty and Flanagan, but I guess if you can afford the big boys in the middle of the edge there, then why not? Um, if you had Lussick, that'd probably be the perfect sort of cash making team. Who else we got? So uh, JBFA, Jake's team looks like they got 873, which was slightly higher than me as well. I think that was the highest score in the Open League. Although 874, sorry. I can't read. Matt's team, we'll have a look at both quickly. So Jake's team's got Hopgood, which is nice. Hosking. So yeah, Hosking looks like the winning sort of bet at the moment. The May brothers, which are both good. Fantastic. And Matthew with the 874 just pipping Jake at the post. So again, Hosking being a key part of that. And Hines as captain, so the gun halves. Missing out on Gagai. What was your... I guess Kiraz would have slotted in and got chance score, which is nice. So, and some Moses are very strong in the halves. Feel like maybe you could use a bit of that money somewhere else. I don't know where. Maybe another wing fullback, given that Gagai's probably gone from the team. But speaking of which, we'll cut back to my team. So, as I said, initially I need to get another wing fullback to cover Bostock. We traded out Kinney last week. We sort of burnt that bridge. Um, and I guess, I think the way to an option is through Tupanua. So if we trade out Tupanua, um, I think we can make a little bit more cash too if we trade out Seyfarth. I think, based on how he went in week two, just sort of means that that could happen again. The cheap option I want to bring in is Fini Fuyaki. I just feel like if he gets a run of games with Lukey out, he could score big and, it could be a cheap way to make some money. And that gives us 601K to spend on a wing fullback. So if we sort of filter out players we can afford at the wing fullback position, um, like Mulatalo went well on the weekend, but his rocks and diamonds, we don't want to be a part of that. Cobbo looked really good on the weekend and does offer centre cover as well, so we don't need that straight away with Turbo and Strange, but definitely could be something we could look at for the future. Tyrell Sloan was okay again. Probably, you know, I sort of said he was a trap, but if you had him, you'd probably take 43 points in a game where they lost 38 nil. So maybe Sloan has turned a bit of a corner in terms of his career. GWZ, is always a nice point of difference type pick. Zach Lomax, so again, 37 in a well beaten team is nothing to sneeze at. Offers dual position as well. And then it's all a bit sort of samey, I guess. But the option that I am thinking about this week, and again, it might be slightly Bulldog bias, but Kiraz playing on the wing. If Adokar gets up this week, he'll just slot back in the centres, I'd imagine. Um, he'll have a spot somewhere in the team. But against the Titans, I think could be a good opportunity for him to make some money. He has dropped a bit in value, so this could be the week to get on Kiraz. And like I said, I think, or I say like I said, this was in the other video. This could be the week that the Dogs turn it around. So the guys like Salmon, Hutchison, if you've got him, I wouldn't necessarily panic on them because this could be the week where some of the attacking start to come. So if we sort of made those trades, if it will confirm, super slow. I guess what that would look like for this week is Bostock will obviously be covered by Carraz. So, and he will slide all the way down the list. Well, actually, he'll slide down to here so we can loop. Um, the rest of the team's probably fine as it is. Fini Fuyaki and Haas will play. Um, I guess, what we're banking on there is maybe the Titans will bounce back from their first week, but even then, Haas was good for the Titans and a well beaten team in round one. So we can definitely play him. They both play on Saturday, but the Broncos play on Thursday, so definitely Piakura there. When does South play? Can't see. Oh, Friday night. So Yeah, I mean, I think was it the Roosters? No, it was the Storm playing at the end of the week. So I guess we could include Chan in the looping sort of conversation. So we've got the Tigers against the Sharks, the Dragons against the Cowboys. So again, it'll be a choice between Galvin or Flanagan first, and then if they flop, we'll just loop Chan in. I think would be the play. So we can probably leave the rest of the team as is. We may want to, potentially lock in. So we've got, Curran can also cover in the middle. Probably something we should do a bit more regularly. I mean, if you want to make the starting team look strong, put Curran in there. Um, but yeah, it'll be basically something like that set up. I think Hines against the Tigers is again the obvious captain choice this week. Um, but Cleary against the Broncos would be solid. Haas against the Panthers would be solid. Um, maybe Grant against Newcastle. They haven't been fantastic to start the season. Um, but we'll just leave it as is. So that's how it'll initially shape up. Obviously, um, I'll reset this at the end of the video, and we'll look at team lists. We'll look at some tops and chops and traps and slaps this week, and have a think about it, and then we'll lock in the trades on Thursday. But I guess that's about it for this video. So if there's any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below the video. Give us a like if you enjoy the fantasy content. Subscribe to the channel for all of our fantasy content. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.